I just need to move the dirt and take stock of what I've got going on. Now, here's the thing. Okay, so I ordered some succulents. It was a handful of individual succulents from Mountain Crest Gardens. They came in and they were beautiful. This one, this is a Echeveria giant blue. Probably can't really see the color. Unfortunately, the lighting in our house is horrifying. I'll try and take a little video overview of all of these in the better light so that you guys can get the colors. But anyways, this is an Echeveria giant blue. Ordered that and these, the string of pearls. I had ordered 2 of these and they were well shipped and I enjoyed them. I'm not being sponsored by them or anything. I'm just kind of giving you the scoop. So I thought, well, these are great. These came well packaged. They were really healthy. So I figured, well, I'll buy a box of cuttings. Figuring a cutting was going to be maybe something like that would be a cutting. So I ordered a box of 30, figuring that, 5 or 6 of them would fit in a pot like this. So I ordered a box of 30. It came in and they were huge, folks. They were enormous, gorgeous, fat, healthy. I mean, this is one of the ones that was a cutting, okay? It came in with a blossom and I had 30 of these. I was woefully underprepared when it came to pots to put them in. So I did a rush order on Amazon. I got like 12 of these little plastic things for like $10 and they have a little drip trays that match. I figured, $10, okay, that'll work. But some of these I think are a little too big and I had to cram more than 1, sometimes 3 or 4 into the same pot. And I don't really think that that's ideal in the size pots that they're in. I don't mind putting several together, but I feel like they need to be in the appropriate size because I don't want to continuously repotting these. They're not gonna love that. And some of these are stretching. I'm okay with that. I live in a house that doesn't have a lot of sun. I know that some of these plants are going to stretch, but I would rather have them even stretched than to not have them at all. So I can deal with that and propagate more, that whole circle of life thing. And I talk to these guys. Dave laughs at me. I didn't know he could hear me, but he could hear me in the morning. I go in and I talk to them and I tell them how beautiful they are. And I encourage them, and I've been encouraging this one for weeks now to go ahead and just blossom, and it finally has, and it's got these sweet little yellow flowers. And I know that I probably should have snipped the blossoms so that it would put all the energy into the plant, but I can't. I'm a sucker. I like the blossoms. They make me happy. And that's the whole point, isn't it? To be happy. These were the same type of plant, and this one also is blossoming now. And I tell it how beautiful it is every day. How proud I am of it. All the energy it puts into that. That's a plant miracle. This is my bucket with my cactus soil that I made. I do have a bag of, this is Espoma organic cactus mix. I have this in case I run out of my premix, or if I can't get it, or if, who knows, I can't afford to buy the things to make it at that point in time. I just have this bag. But what's in here is a mixture of probably 1/4 of a bag of the Espoma, because you do have to have some soil, I feel. I don't know. I could be wrong. Like I said, newbie. Coconut coir. I don't know how you say it. It's the coconut stuff. This particular one is really finely ground, and I'm not sure how well that's going to work. I'm kind of curious as to whether or not that's going to hold on to too much moisture in the long run for a lot of these succulents. I mean, they like fast draining soil. So hopefully I've amended this well enough. It's a little bit of that organic cactus mix from Espoma, a whole bunch of coconut coir, an 8-gallon container of turfus, which is stuff that they use like on athletic fields, I think. And then there's a little bit of pumice in there. The last mix that I made had a lot more pumice in it. And I really liked the pumice, but the thing with the pumice is our water is very rusty. After 1 or 2 waterings, the pumice gets stained. When I bought this, it was absolutely white. It's now brownish. There are actual pieces that look red on some sides. I don't love that. Let's figure out what we're gonna do. So we're gonna put a couple of different types of plants in these. This is just window screen that I'm putting at the base of all of these pots that I'm filling. You can see this is really, really light. It's really dry. It's quite crumbly. I like the color of the turfus. It's kind of a clay, and my understanding is that turfus is basically clay. It's like fired clay bit. Hopefully I'm not poisoning my plants using it, but I had seen it mentioned in numerous places, and it was something that I could get that was affordable. I have a hard time finding pumice in affordable amounts. This is a jade, and it's looking lovely. I feel like it's pretty darn healthy. Take these tall ones and put them, you know, put a couple of plants in here, because what the heck, why not? Let's live it up. These guys were cuttings. So of course they come just cut. There's no roots on them. They're doing great. They've made quite a few roots since I got them. So I've got some tools. These are generally good tools for working with succulents. There's like a little thing to grasp them. You know, you don't want to grab them. A lot of these have a coating on them. It looks like a powdery substance that protects the leaves, and when you touch it, it leaves fingerprints. And I don't think it harms them, but it's just not very attractive. I bought this little set. It gives you this, and you can grab underneath them, kind of grasp them. There's a little pry tool, and then this helps to make holes in the dirt. A little scoop for your dirt, because you know everybody only needs this much dirt at a time. A little brush. This brush is great. It's very soft. You always want to try to get the dirt off succulents, and especially the rosettes. You kind of want to get it out of there. I also have a little bulb that blows air, like a so those work good too, but you gotta be careful, because if you are too vigorous, it will blow the dirt off the top of the plant at the same time. We're gonna add some slightly smaller things to the front. Look at how beautiful. I don't know if you can see, but it's this beautiful green with purple all along the edges. This one is quite large, and I feel like it would probably be better in a larger area. And so I'm thinking I might put this one in there with that. Look at the stem on this. Now, when they sent these cuttings, these were full to the bottom with petals. So they were huge. They tell you when you plant them to make sure that you take off enough leaves that you're putting a significant portion of the stem in the ground, which then leaves you with a ton of these guys. Look at these guys are looking kind of wrinkly. That indicates to me that this plant is thirsty. And I had read that cuttings need to be watered more frequently initially until they root really well than you would normally water succulents, so that makes sense. Doing that left me with so many leaves to try to propagate, and there's a tray upstairs full of them, making me so proud. I'm just living for them. They're so tiny. They're like, you know, the size of the head of a pin. They're so cute. I also ordered all of these cactuses, or cacti, from Mountain Crest. I've been blathering on for so long that I forgot what I was saying. But let me tell you folks, these little guys, you use your tweezers, because these are no joke. They hurt a lot. These big ones, okay, you get a little poke, it's up front. These little suckers, wow, they make you so irritated. Every single one of those little white things has like multiple little daggers. Clearly, you want to be respectful of a lot of these. Just because they're little and adorable doesn't mean they don't hurt. These were so difficult to deal with that I didn't really do that great of a job. What I found was that the dirt was infested with cactus spines. So these are kind of a pain. I mean, I've seen other people just grab them and put them in. Well, you know, good for them. You know what I am going to do though, folks? I'm going to kind of take it, and what a pain in the buttocks. They're in the wrong darn side. Look at folks, look what I did. I was blabbing and blabbing, and here's the front of my pot, and I put the tall stuff in the front, which is not where it goes. And I'm going to have to stop and probably make dinner at some point. Dinner is the bane of my existence. There's always 7,000 other things to be done that would be way more fun than making dinner. What about you guys? Do you like making dinner? Do you not like making dinner? If we're having people over, I like making a really nice meal, of kind of celebrating their visit. Or if our kids come, I like to do that. On a day-to-day, it just, ugh. It is not my bag, baby. I am sure there must be people out there for whom cooking dinner on a daily basis is something that they really enjoy and that gives them pleasure. I mean, let's face it, what I'm doing right here would probably make some people want to rip their hair out. And I wouldn't blame them, because it is kind of a pain. But I think, what else am I going to do with my time? And then they would probably say, make dinner. To each his own, different strokes for different folks.
What you talking about, Willis?
Did you guys watch the Oscars last night? I didn't. We just don't go to the movies. I mean, every once in a while. There are certain ones that we make sure we see. Basically all the nerd ones. Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter's. But we're not big comic book movie people. And here's how I kind of feel about the whole comic book thing. I'm kind of tired of it. I don't know how many movies they're going to make about Superman and Batman. We've seen it already. And I forgot what I was saying. My life in a nutshell. It's basically just me forgetting what I'm saying. Oh my gosh, how adorable. I love it. It's like a little desert wasteland in there. How sweet are those? Killer. And I just immediately stuck my finger right on top of that cactus. And this is what we've ended up with. Plant serial killer. I think it's supposed to be serial plant killer, but the pothos is too big to put first. I have to make him this way. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I think it's great.